Welcome along to the deep dive. We're here to, cut through all the noise and get straight to what really matters.
Exactly.
And today we're taking a proper deep dive, magnifying glass out, into Nordic football. We're looking at upcoming games in Norway, Eliteserien, obos-ligaen, and Sweden Allsvenskan and Superettan.
Right.
And our mission really isn't just about who's playing. It's about digging into the stats, finding those surprising patterns, and pulling out what we call angles and neutral conclusions.
Yeah, and these angles, they're specific tactical insights,
Yeah.
Straight from the data. They point to how something might unfold.
Exactly. And the neutral conclusion, that's more of a broad stats-based observation. Doesn't necessarily pick a side, but tells you about general tendencies in the match. We want to show you the why behind it all.
Precisely. It lets us look past just, predicting winners and actually understand the mechanics underneath. We can spot trends, consistent behaviors you might otherwise miss. It's about appreciating the game on a deeper level, seeing that blueprint in the numbers.
Okay, let's get into it then. We're starting off in Norway, top flight, the Eliteserien. First up, at 13.30, we've got Haugesund against Kristiansund. Now, Haugesund, sitting 13th. Well, they're in a genuinely tough spot.
Yeah.
No win in their last 4 games, no draw in their last 7. And what's really amazing, they haven't led at halftime, not once, all season.
Wow, not once.
Nope. And add to that, they've shipped 6 goals in the last 15 minutes when playing away.
Yeah.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? A team struggling to finish games.
It really does. And, what's interesting is how Kristiansund, up in 11th, offers a contrast, but with their own quirks.
Okay.
They've only had 1 draw all season, and this stat is fascinating. They've actually never won 2 matches in a row, even though they won their last one.
Okay. So momentum killer, maybe?
Could be, but their attack on the road, pretty undeniable. Scored in their last 7 away games. So the angle here, it kind of leans towards the away side, doesn't it? Simply because they can score consistently, unlike Haugesund, who just can't seem to win. And for a neutral conclusion, thinking about Haugesund conceding late, well, the data suggests maybe betting against a late draw. It seems unlikely to end level if it's tight near the end.
Interesting angle there.
Yeah.
Okay, next. 16.00, it's the leaders. Bodo Glimt against Sarpsborg 08. Bodo Glimt topped the table, just dominant at home.
Absolutely.
Scored 2 or more goals in their last 5 home games. 8 consecutive matches over 2.5 goals. They almost always score first at home. Lead by halftime 90% of the time.
It's impressive consistency.
It is. Though, one interesting little detail from the sources, they haven't actually played anyone from 5th to 12th at home yet this season.
That is interesting. And then you look at Sarpsborg 08 down at 14th. They bring a different kind of consistency.
How so?
3 score draws in their last 4 matches. They're unbeaten away, but those last 3 away games, all draws, specifically against teams in the top 7.
Okay, so they can hang tough against good teams away.
Seems like it. So the angles, well, you ask, can Bodo keep up that 2-goal habit? Or does Sarpsborg's knack for score draws that Idas you mentioned maybe mean you'd bet against them if they somehow got ahead?
Right, lay them if leading.
Potentially.
Yeah.
And for neutral stuff, you definitely think about a goal before halftime, given Bodo's record. And if Sarpsborg's draw habit continues, both teams to score looks pretty likely.
Makes sense. Okay, switching leagues now, but staying in Norway. Still 16-0, 0-0. obos-ligaen. Bryne hosting HamKam. Bryne, 11th. They've shown real home strength. 3 wins in 4 there.
Yeah, and they're a proper goal threat, aren't they? Looking at recent scores, 2, 4, 3, 1. They find the net.
They do. And importantly, no 0-0 halftimes for them. 80% of their games go overs, lots of goals.
Right. Now, HamKam 13th.
Yeah.
They've had a little upturn, 2 wins in 3, but they're only away win. That was just last match.
Okay.
And the data shows they haven't beaten a top 12 team away yet. It's a small sample, sure, but it's there.
So the angle.
Well, the away side hasn't proven they can beat stronger teams on the road, despite that one recent win. Maybe just a tiny bit of momentum for HamKam. But really, if Bryne clicks at home, which they often do, you could easily see 3, maybe 4 goals here.
And neutral conclusion.
And if Bryne gets going, logic points towards at least 1 goal before halftime, right? Given they never seem to have a 0-0 at the break.
Got it. Still in Norway, 16.00 again. Big one here. Fredrikstad against Tromso, both 7th place.
Tight matchup.
Fredrikstad have hit a bit of a rough patch, though. 3 losses in 4, no win in 2 at home. But they do like scoring early.
Oh, yeah.
Scored first in 5 of 6 home games, led at halftime in 4 of those 6. 7 of their 10 goals came in the first half.
Okay, so a fast start.
Yeah.
But look at the contrast with Tromso. Completely different story.
Right. Tell us.
They're on a 5-game winning streak. 3 of those away. Unbeaten in 4 away now. scoring consistently 2 knitted in their last 5 away games, and a perfect 100% win record away against teams 9th or lower.
Wow, that's strong form.
It is. But defensively, here's the key pattern. 8 of their 9 goals conceded away all came in the second half.
Ah, okay, so the angle.
Well, caution says look at the odds, obviously. But Tromso has huge momentum. Fredrikstad in a losing cluster. The form gap really favors Tromso here.
And neutrally.
It's this interesting tension, isn't it? Home side scores first half, away side concedes almost only in the second half. Makes for a tricky dynamic.
Definitely does. Okay, another 16.0 kickoff. Molde versus KFUM Oslo. Molde 10th. Surprisingly wobbly at home, you called it.
Yeah, that feels like the right word. Only 1 win. 2 straight 0-1 defeats at home.
They've conceded in their last 5 at home, too, and opponents tend to lead them at halftime, like 80% of the time. Only 1-0-0 halftime all season.
Right, and KFUM Oslo, 8th. Their form's a bit strange. Bookended by 2 wins, but 0 wins away from home. Only 2 clean sheets overall.
Not great away form, then.
No. And their big weakness? Defense seems to collapse late. They've conceded 6 goals in the last half hour away from home. Thrown games away, basically.
Ouch. So angles.
Well, if Oslo even struggle to score, right, and let's say they do get a lead today, are they suddenly going to score 2 in a row? The data screams no. So maybe laying them if they lead with some insurance and mold. Losing 0-1 at home consistently, like we said, it's a bit of an X-file. Why they're struggling so much there. They need something to click.
Final Norwegian game then, 18.15. Strømsgodset versus Vålerenga. Strømsgodset 9th. Their home record is, well, concerning.
Understatement, maybe?
Yeah. All losses at home so far. Just 1 clean sheet. No draws in 10 games overall. And defensively, 8 of their 11 goals conceded came in the second half.
Yikes. Okay, Vålerenga from the obos-ligaen, 12th there. They've got 3 recent wins, though not back-to-back. But they have scored in their last 7 matches.
Consistency in scoring them.
Yes. And they're 3 for 3 unbeaten away against teams 8th and lower. Although, interesting note, they were capped at just 1 goal against the teams in 9th and 14th.
So maybe not prolific scorers against that level.
Potentially. So the angle, those 2.50 odds on Vålerenga, they kind of signal caution, maybe even suggest staying away, non-trading.
Because it seems too good to be true, or?
Possibly. I mean, Strømsgodset lose all their home games. But Vålerenga, while unbeaten away against this level, seem a bit tentative. Maybe they just edge it.
And neutrally.
Well, Strømsgodset only have 1 clean sheet at home. They concede late. Vålerenga have scored in 7 straight. All that points to a 0-0 being pretty unlikely to stick around.
Right, makes sense. Okay. Switching gears now, let's head across the border to Sweden. Allsvenskan, the top league. And this is where it gets really interesting, some proper unexpected patterns here.
Yeah, Sweden's throwing up some intriguing stuff.
First up in Sweden, 13.00 kickoff, AIK against IFK Göteborg. AIK, 3rd place, really strong at home, unbeaten there.
Solid.
And unbeaten home and away against any top 10 teams. Also notable, no 0-0 halftimes for them. Their only recent loss was literally their last match.
Okay, so very reliable, especially against good opposition. But then IFK Göteborg, 6th. They are turning out to be really good travelers this season.
Good travelers, you say?
Yeah. 3 wins in a row away, 4 wins in their last 5 away games. Their only away losses all season to the teams in 1st and 2nd.
Okay, that's impressive away form. So angle time.
Well, Göteborg lost to 1st and 2nd away.
Right.
Now they play 3rd. You could infer what AIK are proven against the top 10, right? No real reason to doubt them unless the game itself tells you otherwise.
Yeah.
But Göteborg winning 4 or 5 away, even if not against the absolute top teams, that momentum matters. You have to consider it.
Tricky one. Neutral place.
Expect a goal before halftime, probably from AIK, and maybe think about laying any late draw involving the away side, given AIK's strength.
Gotcha. Also at 13.00, Degerfors IF versus IF Brahma-Pochkarna. Degerfors 11th, quite vulnerable at home lately, 4 losses and 5 there.
And conceding consistently, too.
Conceded in their last 10, and 8 of their 11 goals conceded at home, first half.
Oof, leaky early on at home. Now, Brahma-Pochkarna, down in 15th. They're having a really rough time. 6 defeats in a row.
6? Wow.
Yeah. And conceded in their last 9. They tend to score later, though. 67% of their away goals come second half.
Okay. So, angles here.
Honestly, the data's a bit messy for Degerfors against the lower teams. They've had all sorts of results, so maybe one to leave alone from a strict angle perspective.
Fair enough. Neutral observation.
Well, that away team stat stands out 2/3 of their away goals in the second half. Something to keep in mind.
Okay. Moving to 15.30, BK Häcken against GAIS. Häcken, 8th. Strong tendency for late action. Over 73% of their goals come second half.
Yeah, and get this, 16 goals scored in total in just the last half hour of their home games. That's remarkable.
That is crazy, so expect late drama there.
You'd think so. But here's what I'm calling the Arthur C. Clarke mystery.
Go on.
Why are GAIS sitting 7th? Not stronger favorites here. Their form is really impressive. Only 2 defeats all season. 3 wins in their last 4. They're unbeaten home and away against anyone 6th or lower. And they've only conceded 2 goals in an away game once all season.
Okay, that is strong. So why the odds?
Exactly. It's puzzling. Like Häcken, they also score more late on 67% of their away goals or second half. So neutrally. Right. This match just screams second half goals from both sides.
Definitely one to watch late on then. Final Allsvenskan game, 15.30, IFK Värnamo versus IF Elfsborg. Värnamo, rock bottom 16th, winless.
Tough season for them.
But maybe small signs of hope. 3 draws in their last 5, 2 straight home draws, and both teams to score has landed in their last 4 home games.
Okay, so they're fighting, drawing games, finding the net at home. But compare that to IF Elfsborg, 4th place, stellar form. 8 wins in their last 10 matches.
8 and 10, that's flying.
Absolutely. 3 wins in their last 4 away, too. And look at their recent goal patterns before halftime. 2-2, 1-0-4, 2-3-0. They often score early, sometimes multiple times.
Wow. So the angles look pretty clear.
You think so?
Yeah.
A winless home side should be a target for a team like Elfsborg, right? 8 wins in 10, 3 and 4 away, and the odds still seem quite generous for that kind of form. In a tougher league, they'd be much shorter odds.
Definitely. Neutral thoughts.
Well, possibility of a goal before halftime seems strong, maybe even 2, if Elfsborg keep up that recent pattern. And Värnamo just don't keep clean sheets at home, so a late 0-0 looks very, very unlikely. It should be targetable.
Right. Okay, finally, let's dip quickly into Sweden's Superettan. Some equally fascinating patterns down there, too.
Always worth a look.
12.0 kickoff, Örebro SK versus Kalmar FF. Örebro 14th. Tough reading here. No wins yet. All defeats home and away against anyone in the top 9.
Ouch. Consistent losses against the top half.
Yeah, and defensively, they've conceded 8 goals at home just in the last half hour of games.
That's a worrying late trend. Now, Kalmar FF, top of the league, first place, really consistent. Their only recent loss was a tight 2-3 at home, away from home. 5 draws and 7 unbeaten away matches.
5 draws and 7 away. So hard to beat, but maybe not always winning.
Exactly, but look at this. No opponent has scored first against them away. No opponent has led at halftime against them away. And 9 of their 11 away goals. First half.
Dominating the start of away games, then.
Completely. So the angle clearly points to Kalmar, right? Superb form against a home team that just loses to top 9 sides.
Seems obvious. Neutral plays.
Örebro have only 1 clean sheet at home, so 0-0 looks vulnerable. Kalmar's draw tendency away might bring both teams to score into play. And definitely first half goals based on Kalmar's away pattern.
Okay, makes sense. Last match for our deep dive, 14.00, Falkenberg's FF versus Umeå FC. Falkenberg's second place. They can definitely score at home.
Yeah, they often get at least 2 goals at home, and 67% of their home games go over 3.5 goals total. High scoring affairs.
But 4 home draws, and 3 of those finished 2-2.
Ah, so they score but concede too. That classic 2-2 pattern. Yeah. Interesting. Now, Umeå FC, 16th bottom of the league, struggling badly.
How badly?
No wins at all. Conceded at least 2 goals in each of their last 4 away games. Conceded in their last 13 games overall. And they tend to be losing at halftime away.
Just bleak reading for Umeå fans.
It really is. So the angle, well, Umeå are the obvious team to oppose until that winless run ends, aren't they?
Yeah.
You'd expect Falkenberg's Peter Colombo, Falkenberg maybe, to target at least 2 goals here.
Colombo, Falkenberg. Okay.
Just seeing if they can solve the case of winning convincingly. The big question is, will they score 2 and concede 2 again at home?
That 2-2 looms large.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
Neutrally speaking. First half goals look likely, given Umeå usually trail at the breakaway. And over 2.5 goals seems almost certain. Maybe even nudging towards over 3.5. Home team scores 2. Away team concedes 2 in their last 4 away. And has a real shout.
A lot of potential for goals there then. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. What does this all actually mean? We've tried to go beyond just, looking at league tables. We've pulled out these threads, these consistent patterns, the intriguing angles, and hopefully this deep dive shows you those hidden stories, those team tendencies within the data, getting to that why behind the what, going beyond the simple headlines.
Yeah, and it's so easy to get caught up in just the drama of one game, isn't it? Or one story. But if you connect it all, look at the bigger picture. What really stands out is how looking at the data this way can challenge what you thought you knew.
Right.
It can reveal completely new ways to appreciate the game. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. What patterns could you find in something you're interested in just by looking a little bit deeper at the info that's already out there?
That is an excellent question to ponder. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive into Nordic football stats and angles. Keep exploring, keep looking for those patterns. We'll catch you next time.